All right, everybody, welcome to game number 4 in our bowl preview series. This is going to be the New Mexico Bowl. By the way, I'm Scott Steehn, lead handicapper at winnersandwiners.com.
I'm your co-host, Scott Reichel, senior handicapper over winnersandwiners.com.
And together, we're going to break down every single bowl game this season. So grab yourself a nice, tasty beverage and a big bowl of popcorn. Strap in, hit that play button, put them all in queue, and let's rock and roll. Scott, New Mexico Bowl features the BYU Cougars and the SMU Mustangs. SMU minus 5.5, and the total on this game, big move, Scott. Big move as it now sits at 64.5. Got thoughts on the line or the total?
Well, anytime you see a total drop roughly 10 points in a bowl game, you can assume who's not going to play in this game, and the answer is a lot of people. So you want to do the honors of listing everybody who might not be there?
Well, for starters, we'll start with the Cougars. They're losing their number 2 quarterback, and as well as linebacker Keenan Peely. Now, why is losing their number 2 quarterback relevant? Well, Scott, because Jaron Hall left the last game with an ankle injury in the third quarter. We don't know if he's going to play or not. So if not, they're going to be down to Finnegan. It's Cade Finnegan, and without Conover there, and we're also could be without Keanu Hill. He has an injury that he missed the second half of the last game there of the season. So as far as the Mustangs go, Rashee Rice is going to be out.
Very good receiver.
Very good receiver in an offense that really values good receivers. You're going to miss probably your best O lineman in Jalen Thomas. And it looks like Dylan Goffney, who is another good piece of that wide receiving core, is going to miss this game. Did I miss anybody?
McDaniel, the running back for SMU, entered the portal, but they have a couple running backs they rotate in and out.
Right. Okay. Very good. Very good. So my first question is there value? This number dropped from 73 to about 64.5, depending on where you find it right now. Started to get some, it went down to actually about 63, and now we got some buyback, got it back up to 64. Is the buyback smart money at this point, Scott?
It's smart money if you have inside information if Hall's going to play or not.
Right.
I don't want to take an over with BYU, who might be using a third-string quarterback who I'm sure never thought he would see the field during the entire season. So I have no real interest if one team might not do much to help out. Now, SMU defensively is not very good, but I got to assume BYU is going to really be conservative with the play calling, or maybe the quarterback is just going to be terrible, either or. But it's tough when you have a total in the 60s with one team that might not contribute much. Am I just going to assume SMU scores 40 in this game without its star receiver and without options? Not really, because BYU might score 20 and change with a third-string quarterback, and that might be generous. So I really have no thoughts on the total. I'd probably lean under. I do like SMU, though. I think SMU's at a good number here at 3.5. Line has moved a decent amount. They went from around +1.5 to -3.5, but they have their actual quarterback. Mordecai is going to play. I know he could throw a bunch of turnovers, or he could throw a bunch of picks, but either way, at least they have their starting quarterback. They still go up tempo. They still have other weapons besides Rice. I'll take SMU. Once again, I'm not going to bet it until I have confirmation that Hall's not going to play, but I think SMU has to be the play here, since at least they have some cohesion offensively. Both defenses are not good, so it's kind of even on that side of the ball. But with a third stringer against Mordecai who can air it out and run a bit, I think there's value on SMU.
Here's my problem. There's two line moves that would appear to be contrarian to each other with this number. Well, it's actually gone to 3.5 from 5.5, right?
Wait, for what, SMU?
Yeah.
I think it initially opened up at like 1.5. I think.
Okay, because I thought I actually had it that it had been 5.5 earlier and dropped, which wouldn't make any sense. It would seem to be contrarian to Daniels playing.
Unless it went from 1.5 to 5.5, and then it went back down to 3.5 because of some Hall news potentially.
See, here's the problem, Scott. Somebody knows something and it ain't me. But what I think is that they've had an opportunity to get the third stringer ready. I think he's been taking reps now. If he's going to play, they know at this point whether Hall's going to play or not. And so I'm still leaning toward the over on this. This SMU defense is so bad. I don't know how good an offense has to be to put up 25, 26 on SMU. And I think if BYU can get to the mid 20s, I think SMU will get us there. So I'm going to still play the over 64.5. Is that the best number I'm seeing on this right now?
I believe so. And I did check. The number did touch 5 on the spread. I want to see how long ago that was, but at some point it did touch 5.
See, because my theory is if you're going to get buyback on BYU, you're going to get buyback on the over.
That sounds about right.
So I'm going to play the over. I've got you down for SMU at 3.5, which I do think is a good number there. I don't really want to get involved with BYU at this point without knowing the quarterback situation. So
if Hall does play, I'll lean to BYU, but as of right now, I have to lean SMU.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. Well, if Hall plays, I'm going to be happy.
I'm all in on the over if Hall plays.
I'm going to be happy that I've got the over at 64.5. So, all right, there you go, buddy. That's going to break down. That's going to end our breakdown of the New Mexico Bowl. Next up, Scott, it's the Jimmy Kimmel LA Bowl presented by Stifle. There you go. We're not putting all that on there. Yeah, we probably will. So anyway, that's up next. And that's going to be Fresno State and Washington State, Scott. So I know we'll be excited about that one. We're going to be talking about that on the next video. We'll see you over there.